Nitubatangira muno kuhuliriza iraka lya bunyoro okuruga kuno mu diaspora hano mu TGM Radio. Nitubatangira muno kuhuliriza iraka lya bunyoro okuruga kuno mu diaspora hano mu TGM Radio.
Peace and fire, money boy music, sounds of Finger West, master skills. Bokeire kikialero nyaimuka, amaiso nyaganaba, yateza majunya saba. Oh, mukama na kialero kukikukwasa, ompere sekyokulya, amirimo yenkora. Everybody nesati, yabitwara. Oh, neighbor yandora, neighbor, mama, neighbor yanyeta, anyumize. Oh, otabaire, kababalize. Yeah, ngutarwaira kweko, sakutoze ibara, abandi afuye. Whoa, 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 hey, orugambo, ukabalemesa nebyokora, samwa samogo, akabalemesa nebyokora, abanyoro nitwetomera, abanyoro nitwesamba, abwasi nitwetomera. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Hey, okuraro wapodo wenyanya tubaharana. Hey, nomukaikulu ataina kantu tumuharana. Abandi baire nitweyenda, abandi baire nitwegondeza, abandi baire nitweyamba, aina nayamba ataina. Umbihura mu bikubo ngoronyoro tilitunda. Shambada kankugambire nabo bigambira bakusekerera. Mubado mulindoma, olingundo yendoma, abokubo kwejuma, okwegarura enyuma. Orugambo lukabalemesa nebyokora, samwa samogo, akabalemesa nebyokora. Abanyoro nitwetomera, abanyoro nitwesamba, abwasi nitwetomera. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Osha, obundi byororo bichulereke, mwana wa mama. Bihali byorora byona babibasa, ushambada. Orugambo, bichotagira na poli. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bana bagenda bulaya kagenda kwetunda. Baitu wakusinga, bofuna makasenta kagenda mu nyanja. Iwe tumanyire esangwa, ono siba nochura. Ebengundo yendoma, anti bakuseka n'obudoma, okusiba n'ozunga, orugambo n'omansa, olingundo yendoma, ojofuna n'ebyokukora, ono nalya n'oli nalya, emmere kenula. Moto ya forgotten my stomach, bugiganyire, Moses skills on the beat, yeah, money boy music. Orugambo, samwa samogo, akabalemesa nebyokora. Abanyoro nitwetomera, abanyoro nitwesamba, abwasi nitwetomera. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Samwa West in the center. Yeah, yeah. Moses skills on the beat, yeah. Money boy music. Samwa.
Hello, welcome. Mwebale kuija. Good evening to you all who have tuned in. This is Iraka lya bunyoro om diaspora, and it is Caroline Ajuna Kibuka, the host of this show as Airways. And this show Nkeiraka lya Bunyoro, sponsored by Bunyoro Octara Development Association, akazina kamuhulirako kabaire ko Munyoro mutayi waitu Figo West kanihire kabanyumire kandi muketegereize nyowe Caroline tinketegereize kurungi, but the good thing is by Figo West, one of our own. And Figo West, thank you so much for playing that wonderful song for us and to make Bunyoro known globally. We are very excited. As I've told you, Nedia Iraka lya Bunyoro Diaspora, and I just want to remind all of you that this show is presented mainly in 2 languages, English, Runyoro, spoken by the people from Bunyoro, and Bunyoro is found in the western part of Uganda. But however, as the host or presenter can use any language as they feel suit. So please, if you hear us using any other language, don't get offended. Just know that me as a host and the guest can use any language as they feel like, as long as it is going to benefit us, all of us on the show. Ninyenda kubaijukiza mukake. Our topic tonight is how can we make Bunyoro Kingdom work for us? And I would want to welcome our special guest tonight, who is going to be telling us or discussing this topic with us tonight. And he's here in the studio with me, and the other people with me, you'll be seeing them soon. And this is no any other person but Atenyi. Ninyenda kumusima Atenyi webale muno kwijja hasho yaitu eno kirokinu olibasiro rugendo ruraira kuba mu studio hamuna itwe hanu webale muno obwire bwotwara na time to prepare for this show, the time you take to move from Birmingham to London just to make Bunyoro be known. We really appreciate Nyowenka Caroline host, and on behalf of all the team in Voice of Bunyoro in the Diaspora at TGM Radio, we are very excited and we are very honored for to be hosting you tonight. And as ever, we are privileged because without you, the Voice of Bunyoro would not be happening. So webale munatenyi na kusaba hati obeho bugambo buke bwokugambiraho ba viewers baitu abatakumanyire bakumanye kikioli, who you were, if you want, who you are now, and then from there I will give a background of this topic, and then we'll start off. Otyo munatenyi webale muno bayo bugambo buko bokubaza aba audience yaitu obaba viewers and listeners.
Otyo muno karatenyi webale muno kutangira Vice Chairman wange BKDA Bunyoro Samu Kitone Akembo, engineer waitu omugozebwa engineer Ivan kandi host wange changing mindset in Uganda. Nsemere muno kuba a program enu kanile kura try tambula mwitwena tuyingise bitekero bokubanga kumbagamba buli kiro kwija handi kimanyisa nti buli kimu ni nyonki manyire na nyonyija kwekulembera bwekulembera nyoleke omuhanda bumugeta kutema empenda nuko abandi basobole koraki kusemezaho. Kionga ndakabalize ninyenda kubanza kusima mugonzibo waitu mukama waitu agutamba rukira basaija kulinda Bunyoro yaitu no kutubumba bumba kabumba waitu kandi mwebingwa akuturolera mbusumbunu bona ni sima na abantu bona aba Bunyoro kyonga ninyenda kandi kubatumira kusasa kwaitu abo kurugwaho abana baitu ba amani Kiriandongo tukarugwaho mwebembezi waitu amani omugenzi Shabani byenkya tijwezi kandi twarugo enyomyo yaitu ya amani muno Omnyoro Fox kahebwa kandi nganjani yange muno mferirwe muno kandi tugarukire amahanu gatugwera mu family ya Munyoro Kezironi Irumba aferire bana basaija bamani babiri Munyoro Tofa Irumba ayaturugirweho inyuma haho kandi na rero azikirwe Munyoro Esau Irumba bona babulindi family emu mahanu muno yonga ntusabira family ejo egume nkayihanga kandi twaferwa Omunyoro Bantaliza Shaban nyahabu wange kaba comrade wange no turaikiranizaga mu ideology akaba comrade wange akamnywani wange kandi akaba lecturer wange mirundi ebiri nsamizi twikaire ntuyingise bitekerezo n'oburatu beira hambaji zikwawukana baitu nkwenda kutumira obusasi bwange n'okuganyira kwange family ye n'abanyayuganda bona abasaidiye ntyo muno.
Mukama abahe ekihumuro abagenzi bona abahe ekihumuro ekirungi kandi nabo nitwongera kwijuka nabo abafereirwe Buganda Pastor Yiga bantu bafereirwe muno bajunirwe bantu bayingi babaini nibamurora baitu abo bona Mukama abahe ekihumuro kirungi. Just a minute, a silent of minute to recognize and put the souls of the dead at peace. Kama abahumuze bona omukihumure kirungi. Amina.
Amina.
Hati na just that wonderful introduction from Mr. Birija. I just want to give a small background of our topic today. And this is, I'm going to talk about Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom. Mungajire mukake. Tuina Vice Chair wa Bunyoro Kitara Development Association. Guest waitu amusabirege nawe abeho nawe amuyambeho ku presenting a topic enu. Na bwekyo mbaire nkabulikira abananyo mu studio bayimanya tuli hamu nkabulikira obutuba nalemwa ku introducinga nka one of our speakers tonight kyonkani nyenda kusaba Omunyoro Arali abeyo obugambo buke wakubaza about himself nibo tutandike na background onganyire munarali otyo munarali ramukiyaho ba viewers baitu na ba listeners baitu.
Thank you very much, our wonderful host. Thank you to our technical team. Thank you, our mentor, our special guest today, with your continued support, all the efforts. We don't take them for granted. Thank you very much. And for all our wonderful viewers, Sunday in, Sunday out, you're there to listen to the voice of Bunyoro. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Yes, as always, Samuel Kitone, Mulindo Arari, it's always a pleasure to serve our community and above all, our kingdom, the great Bunyoro. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Looking forward to a very productive show. Thank you.
Ogwo niwo mukuru Arali Kitone nko wabagambire hati. I just want to remind or to just give a brief background of Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom. Bunyoro Kitara is empire was one of the oldest kingdom in East Africa or Central of Africa, and it existed since 900 AD. In the post-independence, following the Kabaka crisis of May 1966, the Prime Minister then, Milton Obote, rest in peace, suspended the 1996 Constitution and replaced it with the infamous Pigeonhole Republican Constitution, which abolished kingdoms. And since then, that was, at that time, Satito Winyi, the father of the current king, was our king of Bunyoro. And when it was, the kingdoms were suspended, Satito Winyi had to leave the main house and went and lived in another home, which was not for official king. Then, good enough, the current government came in power. You all remember around 1986. And thereafter, they decided to bring back the kingdoms. And we were privileged when Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom was revived, and our king, our current Omukama Rukirabasaija, Dr. Solomon Gafabusa, was enthroned or sat on his throne on 11th June 1994. And he's been since ruling as our cultural king, and we are very happy to have him as our king because we all love him and find identity to be part of that kingdom. With that little background, I just want to remind our viewers of our topic tonight, which is how can we make Bunyoro Kingdom work for us. People have been wondering, in our speakers right today, about business development that the kingdom can bring for us or provide for us, the people of Bunyoro. One day, I remember it was mentioned here on this program, The Voice of Bunyoro, Omukama akamiraga abantu be, or he milks for his people, for his subjects. So my question is this still the same? Omukama akiatukamira, kandi warana atukamira, akutukamira omulingo ki? People are looking for development. There are things like land grabbing in Bunyoro. We have had the issue going on, and it's making every Bunyoro sleep without rest, the Bugoma issue. Shares in Kinyara Kingdom, in Kinyara Sugar Factory is another issue that the Banyoros are thinking about. So the reason why we thought here at the Voice of Bunyoro, Nkaiwe Mukuru Mr. Birija, you're a teacher, you're an opinion leader, you've been a leader in Bunyoro, you'll be able to enlighten us or give us your views on this topic. Kandi no Mukuru Arali, na you are very much interested in what is happening currently in Bunyoro. You're very passionate about the Bugoma issue. That's why we thought tonight you should be part of this show. Hati, with that background, I want you guys to tell us about these issues. Does the king have powers to provide for his subjects, and which law gives him those powers?
Okaguza nyo?
Yes, Mr. Viriji.
Okay, thank you. Otio mno karo atenyu na chairman.
Vice.
Chairman watabaho, vice aba chairman.
Okay.
So, okay, vice chairman. Abauliza baiti inywena. Mwebali mno kuija kuhuliza program enu. Kugaruka me kaguze timanyire mukantega kakodio kumpe kaguzo kiriso open ended kitaina entandika nenkango kyonga nyowe nja kulengo ntozo msinge halikire tingenda gena mbyafayo ye bingi ndabire tamu halibira abambiye tagisa bati kikuru kiri onkagwize kikaguzo Bunyoro amanya omukama aino sobozi nja kubanza kugarura ikaguzo. Iyo beno gamba the kingdom was luckily enough, the kingdom happily enough or good enough, the kingdom was revived. Maira, I'm very careful with words. The kingdom was revived. Ngutwalire muna abanda bagamba restoration of our kingdoms. Kikiba kuli mu bitekerezo beno gamba the kingdom was revived. What do you mean by revived?
Bakatugarura
That verb.
Our government, ya central government ekatutongora yatugarura ebyaitu. Did it give us powers in the constitution? Do we have where the king can provide or milk for his people or his subjects?
Okay. So ngokungambire genti atompaire omutwe onyambire ompaire okutandikira. I will begin from 1994.
Yes.
Restoration of the kingdom. Nkokumukigamba restoration nyonkiteka mu quotation marks. Restoration abokuba tindi sure. Kyokubanza nja kutandika n'okusiima. Bagamba a progressive mind always looks at a glass as half full, not half empty.
Yes.
Nja kubanza kusiima kirungi bakagezao there was an attempt to return to us what? The institution of kingship. Ngokumugamba at least people have hope by nenyikiriza nti obukama bukagaruka. Obunkuba ni discussinga kintu ijo bunkaba ni ngaba outline ebintu bingenda ku discussinga nkole kanti ekiri bunyoro tikiri necessarily kintu kiri bunyoro na munyayuganda weno alokwo akuhuliriza nkwenda akirole nti kiri kintu kiko affecting the entire country.
Yes.
Whoever has a cultural or traditional institution, whatever I'm explaining affects all of us. Bunyoro is just now symbolic or representing the entire case study as a case study. Restoration, what does it mean? Or ekintu bukiba kirugireho okakirestoring kimanyisa okigaruireho
In
mu buijuire.
In full, yes.
Yes, okigaruireho mu buijuire. So ao nja kugenda straight away na constitution yaitu 1995 ya mwaka gwa 19 kiena ne 5 kiki kiegamba buba tuleteiro bukama ekugamba ki omwoyo gwe kiragire ekyo okyagaruiro bukama guli guta. What we say, what is the spirit of the law? What is the spirit of the law? A chapter ebaza habukama eta chapter king constitution kuniranyize chapter 16 egamba institution of traditional and cultural leaders. Institution of tradition and cultural what? Leaders. Chapter 16 bagieta ekichweka kya bibiri na mkaga.
Oh, ndanyonyegere constitution.
Ono Ivan arangambira obuwayi manya bu close manya
Yes.
manyire kubibaza mu rujungu beti nja kulengaho
Omurunyoro.
mbibaze mu runyoro. Hati what is the spirit rundo moyo ki ogwagaruizeho gwateiro ekiragire ekyo no garro obukama ukatu obukama rundo gutatu obukama. That's what you should do. Consider when you are talking about reviving, restoration, and celebrating.
Yes.
But the mere fact that we have it there, whether it is symbolic or not, I'm celebrating it because it is half full a glass, maybe a quarter a glass. At least glass very empty.
Yes.
Erumu kintu na wekitu inakusima. But tuserulizo omwoyo ki oguli nyuma. Kiragire iki kigamba ki. First of all, ekiragire iki kintu kyokubanza nja kurora jase bikebike. Niyo nja kubazaho. Article 246 runde kichweka kya bibiri anana mkaga akachweka ko kubanza rundi kabeta clause 1 kagamba subject to the provision of this constitution the institution of traditional leader or cultural leader may exist in any area of Uganda in accordance with culture, custom, and tradition, or wishes and aspirations of people to whom it applies. Omanyire ekiragiro ekikakasa ekintu runde kigumye ekintu mu rufutfuti bukiba kiri kiragiro kyonyini nja kutandikira na hako tikikozesa what we call subjunctive verbs. May, could, can. It uses imperative verb. Ekiragiro kyenyini kigamba shall. Nikiwa rabu ogenda mu Bible bagamba thou shall not
Kill.
Yeah, okurora. Kiragiro, it is a command. So, may kikumanyisa ndi obundi
Kibao chikabao.
mbeni mwenda mbe mtakwenda, but it's not a choice to be a mnyoro.
Yes.
Are you seeing that? So you can't make being a mnyoro or a mganda or an actually a tentative thing.
It has to be something.
Yeah, it has. You are either mnyoro or you are not. Okieregezekyo loophole netandikira nkogamba. I will tell you the implication later. Hatuno garuka akachweka ka kasatu runda akatweta clause 3 nikagamba akabiri negamba in any community where the issue of traditional or cultural leader has not been resolved, the issue shall be resolved by the community concerned using methods prescribed by the parliament.
Wow.
Egyo nindora nawo roadblock endi. Habwako muntu wa handi nuwa kugambira koko kusemera kuba mnyoro. Should it be the parliament to tell us how to be a Muganda or a... There should be an internal mechanism for us to resolve how we want to be as Baganda. Not somebody to prescribe for
What you
us.
have to be. Yeah.
Rukira basaija taragirwa.
That's the meaning of Rukira Basaija. Kira Basaija bona.
Aha.
So he has to make the last order.
Aha, liso lya bene. And I'm trying to show you because this is a national constitution.
Yes.
So, which means already you have subjected the king. The king cannot be a subject.
Yes.
The king cannot be a subject. Those are two loopholes. Come to clause 3. Clause 3. The following provision shall apply in relation to traditional leaders or cultural leaders. Because a constitutional king can be limited by the constitution.
Yeah.
So I can accept the parliamentary provision under a constitutional monarchy, because the constitutional monarchy does not have absolute power, which is okay. So that one we can accept it under constitutionalism. Then article clause 3 subsection A negamba the institution of traditional leader or cultural leader shall be a corporation sole with perpetual succession and with the capacity to shew and be shewed to hold assets or property in a trust for itself and the concerned people. Sol kikumanyisa batagaruleho obukama bakagaruraho omuntu akweyetaki mukama. A kingdom is a political institution. Political means pole, many. A leader cannot be stand in a vacuum. He can't be sole. And he cannot hold property in trust for himself. And people concerned know Woha. So all those leaves ambiguity between people concerned and the sole what? Proprietor. Tindi lawyer kyongani mukuboleka nyoku nkubirora, because this constitution can be read by anybody. It is supposed to be read by anybody. So Saul is already a contradiction. What does it create? One, it's already an incentive to corruption.
Wow.
Are you seeing that? Nkogamba okwasira embuzi wagitwara mu musiri gwe bitakuli otagisibira omunwa. already you have removed the kingship from the people. You have disengaged it from. Nkabagambira nkagamba corruption kamanyisa to break. Co, what you found which is together, co or com. Then rupture, break. So that's already corrupting the institution. Omukama wa Bunyoro tiyayemaliraga buli kimu. Yabagana bajwara nkondo, bamuhaga advice, privy councils, elders. So he was not an absolute king. He relied on the goodwill of his what?
Subject.
People. So when you make him sole, the law is already corrupting the king by removing him from his people. Then nikigaruka nikigamba kya kabiri, nothing in paragraph A shall be taken to prohibit a traditional leader. You see, they are talking about leader, not kingdom. A traditional leader or cultural leader from holding any asset or property acquired in his personal capacity. The king is supposed to be a custodian. Hatikando gambire he will hold in trust for the people concerned. Kando gambire nothing will stop him from okuhura, from prohibit from holding things in his personal
capacity.
what? Capacity.
Wow.
Hati tingamu mukama waita kikozere. Bwara imuka katunda bugoma. Akatunda itaka lyonna lya Bunyoro. Akatunda ekiragiro tikimprotect ingire.
Agenda mu constitution inatusingira.
Akubasingirayo. Okay. Then ningaruka ha F obundi ngenda kubuguruka. Ka F kakugamba a traditional leader or a cultural leader shall not have or exercise any administrative, legislative, executive powers of government or local government. So now, taino obusobozi bw'okumanaginga kichweka kyona. Taino obusobozi bw'okuba mwebembezi w'ekichweka. Kionka kando mwese traditional leader. A leader without any authority. Okay. So, that's the investigation we should start with. First, making it private.
Yes.
Secondly, omuhakaine property ogimkwasize. Secondly, tobaliza akigambu. What do you mean by culture? Culture is a collective way of a community. An individual cannot have culture.
Yes.
Can an individual have culture? It's a community. How community cares for itself. How community cultivates their environment. How community cultivates their families and so on. So now, how does the king, what is a kingdom? A kingdom, if you say they restored obukama bwaitu, baka restoring omukama rundo obukama. Because the word kingdom is a coinage of two words. King, the person. Dome means area, sphere. Dome is the state, the territory, the people, the government, the resources, the entire economy, which is managed by the king. So, kingdom. So, two words. How do you have separated the dome from the king? Have they revived, restored anything?
Well, nyowe nko omuntu wa buli kiro bakatugamba ebiro by'okwezi June omukama wa Bunyoro obukama bwa Bunyoro bukaba installed back by bringing putting on our current king on the throne. So ito twasemererwa twajwara twazine orunyege abakuzine orunyege abakuzine omugongo twasemererwa obukama bwaitu abutwayire
ati nibyo nkwijja ati kasaki kaguzo mukakimpa na iyo samu ati ndi mukaguza nkugambire bakubaza traditional leader, institutional leader. Kionga tibakubaza akigambu dome
neither state. King.
Okay, a king can be a leader. It's okay. Can you restore a king without a dome?
No.
A king without a state.
You can't separate them.
So because if it is kingdom, then he must have to exercise administrative
powers,
what?
yeah.
Powers. So, okay, a king governs. I think kingdom. A king governs. What does government mean? What does governing mean? Governance, before we go to government. What does governance mean? Governance means two things. Institution. Ebitongole. And practices. Emirwa. Emize. What we call tradition. According to World Bank's definition, governance means traditions and the institutions used to exercise authority over a community. That's what governance means. Now, how can you govern a place without institutions to administer?
So, sorry, just to jump in there. So the article 246,
Yes.
section F,
Yes.
where it says a tradition leader or a cultural leader shall not have or exercise an administrative
Yes.
legislation or exercise powers over government or local government. So that it disempowers the king.
That's what I'm saying. Because once you don't have administrative structures, once you cannot exercise powers through institutions, then you are not governing. Because governance means traditions and institutions through which authority is exercised over a given what? Community. So in the absence of those, there is no kingdom. Even the king, I don't know whether he becomes a king, because you can only be a king when you're exercising authority.
So yeah, I don't want to go into deep in politics, but
No, this is not.
Yes, there's some
is-
aspects that I need to pinpoint, like the Ugandan or the Baganda. They are talking about federal. They are talking about the certain areas where the king can't go.
First leave that, we are coming to that now.
Yes, okay.
Now you have mentioned
So
something.
we want.
So now I want now to explain to you that institution, what do we mean by institution? Society is governed through institution. First of all, society, as I told you, is a poly. Poly means a collection of many things, people and many institutions. What is the first institution of society which the king presides over? Individuals come together as individuals to form a household, which is a family. Mukama yaroleraga burungi bwa maka g'abantu. Okirolekyo, which is a family. And the other day we were discussing with Ivan, what does a household mean? A household means economia. Economia, in other words, the word economics means household. How you organize resources in a home and administer them. Eco kimanyisa omuka. Nomia or economia, nomia kimanyisa management, administration of the farm, of the home, and so on. So when they talk of economics, they are meaning the home.
So I want us to tell our viewers, this is what our viewers want to hear.
Now I'm coming. Households come together with household to form a village. That's already an institution.
So abantu bakwenda kumanya. So in the constitution obasomere constitution abandi bagamba constitution zezo article bazibazo mu runyoro. Niwe abantu babyetegereze.
Atinyika nimbaza mu runyoro.
Bazilistinga basomesa people on the grassroots.
This is what now we are coming. Don't talk about solutions. I'm still highlighting problems.
Yes, abantu bakwenda kumanya. So that means from what you have so far discussed, our king is unable to do anything for us.
Nkyayenda kubahereza the background of the challenges, then we do solutions. If we are going to mix up people, we are going to mix up people, because this is a very short article.
Yes.
This is a very short article. So, institutions, families come together to form villages. Villages came together to form Emiruka. Emiruka came together to form county, Amabohora. Amabohora ngeteranza nga fora Isaza. Isaza ndi fora Obukama. Owulire. omukama yarabaga mu mitendere egyo okurolera abantu be hato omutemereho ogambire ebintu byona takusobora kubimanaging.
Yeah.
And yet the best thing should have been, like the Ghanaian constitution, to allow the traditional institutions to operate alongside local government. They collaborate to promote culture. But you have removed him completely. So politics means coming together as a home and a village. As a village, that's what politics means. To manage, to promote your welfare. So you are saying you don't want to be political, but that's what politics means. Polis means an organized society. Habo burungi waki bwensi. So we were political. So you cannot say that cultural does not mean political. As I told you, culture means practices and resources. So you cannot have a king without resources.
No.
Okay, now, obukama bwetu bwakoraga buta. The modern government today talks about what we call fiscal policy. F-I-S-C-A-L. Fiscal policy simply means the system of collecting revenue and spending it for the welfare of the people. Omukama waitu yasorozaga emisoro kurugaira. Emisoro ekabaho. Nesorozwa omuhoza. Omuhoza, then mukama nayombeka all those trading routes.
Yes.
Nayombeka obutale. Hali bantu ba meeting kano omuhoza yali muramuzi. Abantu barwaine mukatale, bantu bakozereki nuwe yali muramuzi. Byamule maga nabiherezo chief.
Yes.
Then chief nahereza byamule maga nabitwara waisaza. Then waisaza nuwe yachwago mukama nuwe yachwago musango okuita orosobeze hatu waisaza nabiherezo mukama. So when those powers are removed, the market structure is destroyed, then the king cannot give to people. What does that mean?
Yeah, you're right, because I have read somewhere where they say that the king has no right to collect tax. So they have dismantled him.
Now. What did the fiscal policy do? Omukama buyasorozaga say a revenue ekiyakoraga ya distributing aga sente ezo. First of all, na yombeka amabora for jurisdiction, na yombeka emihanda for good trade. Na fortification for security, biki. Hatina amara abanaku na abarolera. For example, tukaba twina abahuma bali agriculturists.
Yes.
Abahuma bali bananka balisa. Bairu bali ba agriculturists.
Yes.
Hatiki yakoraga yatunga go munyo, then iron smiths, salt water and so on. Yatunga go munyo in thousands na gugabira abahuma kulisente for the welfare of the cattle. That's how fiscal policy works, even in the modern government. So we even had a fiscal policy. Na hereza abahuma. Hata abahuma mbarugaho mba respectinga omukama. Habo kuba kubayamba. Hata abahuma nabo mbahereza bintu bikwetagisa bikuruga mwente mukibiki magita biki na bihereza abandi, because there was tribute system. Buli producer wa agriculture na leta omukama, webyente na leta omukama, womunyo na leta omukama, otyo. So the king had a fiscal policy, just as in the modern government. Mukama kibamweteraga kabumba is because yateranizaga people who were suffering. He united people. Na abahuma na baleta hamu baitanaga mukatale, balimini baija hamu, babito ni baija hamu, na abumba abantu omunaku na miyamba. Nikyo amwetaga kabumba. He was a symbol of unity.
True.
And you cannot exercise unity when you can't help. Now these people are in floods. Our king cannot help.
Do anything, yeah.
So obuwale mwaga nkomukama kuhereza abantu nokubabumba. You led to secession kwechu wa abantu kurwana kwechu wa. Nikiorora hatinka bulisa abantu bakwenda kurugaho. Ubukwati bakora ikibakugoba mukama. Bagamana na itu katukoluki okama waitu. I'm just showing you an example. Mukama bamwetaga agutamba. Because he was a solver of distress. Agutamba mujanjabi wa stress. Abantu bali mu bizibu n'abayirukira. Everybody had freedom to reach the king because he had solutions. He had wealth to give the people.
True.
Hatolesera omukama niwo okumusasula omusaala gwa miliyoni 5 manya zingaha hata miliyoni 5 arayiha okurolera ate abantu omusazireho source of what of income.
Yes. Sorry, I'll jump on that. Let's go to the Constitution again, looking at the Land Act. That is chapter 15
Yes.
of the Constitution, Article 237. The land ownership is being divided in 4 aspects.
Yes.
The first one being customarily owned,
Yes.
freehold, mile, and leasehold.
Yes.
So now, when it comes to the land that the kingdom owned or belongs to the kingdom, which I believe falls under customarily.
Yes.
So that is owned. So how can it be owned customarily, owned by the kingdom or with a particular individual under the ancestral ownership, and then he doesn't have power over it?
No, he has the land, but now he's a sole proprietor.
Yes.
So
No ownership.
he's not even holding it in trust of us because he's under sole proprietorship.
It is his
Liriye.
land. It is his
Liriye
land.
bali mugabire
So he
byonna.
has right
Bali
to do
tuyihiraho
anything.
community bali mugabira.
Yeah, he has
N'aba
the right.
agents be.
He has a right to do anything.
Yes, wakukoma
that
iwe
land.
iwe Sam kitona akagamba hati niwe land officer oli mukora ebye nka sole proprietor.
So
The reason why I ask that is to look at the side of Bugoma Forest and look and see if that is ancestral land, and for people to understand.
Yes.
Automatically at land owner ya Bunyoro kaberi yobukama is under that ambiguous law. Etakwetegerezebwa. Either liri yomukama wenka wakutunda rundi agent we watiroho nka minister wakutunda.
just to recap, to get back to the topic, I just want you guys, Mr. Birija and Arali, to just focus on what the kingdom can do for us.
Listen,
And then
I'm
the
now
Bugoma-
trying to show
The
you.
Bugoma issue is going to be handled
Yes.
after the break.
After that. Okay, now,
So what
now
can the
I'm
kingdom
coming.
do for us
The
as
king
Banyoro?
had power over money.
Yes.
He had power over resources. He had power over land. He could give land to people. He could give money to people. Nikyo wamweteraga Kabumba, symbol of unity, agutamba. Mwebingwa means that abantu bamwirukiraho ga baine ekizibu. Entale ya Bunyoro, he was a security, a defender of his people.
Yes.
Mukama yaihaho gabali abainaho bagayiga n'agabira
Yaha abanako.
abanako. Mukama. So all those praise names of the king have a reason.
True.
Now, when you remove his economic base, you render him useless. And those names even become empty-sounding things. Amabara tigakiaina nomugaso. Hobokwa abumbaki. Atambaki. Are you seeing that? Omazire kumuihaho. Entale ya Bunyoro. Bakunyaga amataka arolere ibe. Abeire nkaha entale. So those are the challenges that we have.
Yes.
On the institution of what? Kingship. Now, I can stop there. Do you want to ask a question? Those are the challenges we have. Do you have any questions so far about the challenges, or you want us to move forward?
Now, what I have to tell the viewers, please go back to our chat today and get to know the titles of Omukama. Because I personally, I didn't know what those titles meant.
Yes.
So we now know that was what the king had to do. So now back to our question, the land issue. So basically our king, although we are here saying, hey, kingdom etuyambe, manyi omukama akole ki, our poor omukama has no powers. So what do you suggest we should do now?
I think we didn't come even to discuss land issue. We came
No,
to
no, I'm
discuss
saying-
how
I'm
can we
saying-
make the
yeah.
Mukama work for
For
us.
us, yes.
I've now shown you the Mukama could do very many things. Construct roads, give education, do security. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
He help the poor, get from the rich, and so on. he had judicial powers, legislative powers, and so on.
But the
now,
Constitution doesn't
the
allow him.
Constitution, Article 246,
46?
Clause F, is removing that. Then the other one is removing him from us and making him a sole
sole
what? Proprietor.
proprietor.
Now, the problem is, what solution?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. What do you suggest we should do?
What I should suggest we should do,
Yes.
first of all, is to celebrate the fact that we were given something
Okay.
resembling yes, something resembling and close ekintu ekiri haiho kikuyisana
Okay, twabaire
obukama
nakyo
obutwayi
buli-
nabwo
Eh.
okuwura
Ego.
baitu bagamba nabwe omwoyo gutabe guterekereire kyonka in its lameness n'omububi bwakyo
We can make good use
abanyoro
of it.
tusemere kuba bagezi.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
We should be clever people. Omusuma bwomanya akuraba hanu na akwiba kandi
Asibaho.
kyonka kandi okumwenda aina amagezi ga akukolera ebintu betu buli bwomuleka munju akupendingire enju kurungi aina kyabuzaho hati naye omutungiraki
Amagezi.
amagezi gadi obulire. So this is now what we have not done. Nikenya agambire, we have to learn to be courageous and enterprising. This constitution should be read holistically. Otakisoma rundi article yonkemu somewhere kakusanga abanyoro baba mbatekereza haro kintu kikusemera kubaha a leeway to go out nikiekyo kubaha umuhanda gwo kutoroka bakafuoka nabo bakabi bakakozesa obukama kurungi. So the first thing akaito abanyoro kitwina kuba is to work hard and become a good society.
Okay.
Yes, because a bad society that is so greedy with selfish people always takes advantage of loopholes. Olalekera achwire orwigi owamana izire yasamba orwigi yatware byatwaire naye woizire naye okwenda kandi okoleki
Otwale.
otwale. This is what is destroying Bunyoro. So first we need responsible people.
Yes. Responsible leaders.
What is the challenge we are having? Since 1994 up to today, people are still yearning, people are still looking for why is Bunyoro Kingdom not giving us results. Surely emyaka 25 and something tangible cannot be seen. Nitweyeta tuli bantu barungi batwairo
Bojoine, haliye
no,
bintu.
I'm just asking nikyo ngambi nitweyeta na nyondum okura. That means that we are fundamentally not good people and we need to change because the kingdom is made by the people.
Yes. Not only the king.
Busawo mundu akusa kudefiningira obukama bwaitu kutugambira obukama bwaitu busemere buti oyiro itwe abanyoro.
So in short, you're saying responsibility starts from us.
From us before you even blame anybody.
Anybody.
Because look here, in a system ya mpikiza ndabeho which is
Yera
capitalistic
he.
okuhura
Mpikiza ndabeho.
wembanda
Eh,
nuwalya
niyo capitalism.
obunaku bwawe nubwo obugayiga bwange okuhura
Ego.
ati ndaba ndi mururu ndi president manyira obugayiga buli mu Bunyoro mukunakuhaza Bunyoro nuho itwe abaruru tujagayiga hali
Ego.
okyetegeza. So that is the wisdom we have failed to use. Hati mukikaro kyokwerwana kandi okutwara hali muntu akukunywa nuwo kwesiga okyetegeza okwirukira hali kwegama hali omuntu
Agenda kuita.
akukambura enju okura. So first thing is good society. What do I mean by good society? I will begin by leadership. Baraba kukomere kuba minister
Nka Mr. Rara,
kuba speaker
mukomere, kuba
atinka
vice.
you ati tukuhaire. Be a public intellectual. don't be an educated person, don't be an elite.
Yeah.
Elite kagamba ako kaba akapooli akabantu abeegondeza
Yego.
nubo benda obusobozi busigale nabo, benda obugayiga busigale nabo, buli ma office gaikale ng'ehindulira muri bo, kandi abo nubo bataha babeeta baliaki Luganda.
Kimanyire nko babeeta abo.
The elites are fundamentally corrupt people because they don't allow discussion of issues in open.
Tukwenda ba leaders abakwikiriza
We want educated leaders.
Yes.
Because an educated person liberates others.
Abairoha nuvyuwo mwagambire habwaki omuhikirwa wa Bunyoro abairadieri karuhanga agambire habwaki omuhikirwa wa Bunyoro ataija addressing these issues. So these are the leaders we want.
Well, let's proceed. Yeah. So we are saying we want leaders, not rulers.
Leaders who will want
We
to come
have
and
been,
discuss.
I think, General Bunyoro,
Yes.
we have been having rulers and elites. Because a ruler does not consult.
Doesn't.
A ruler does not use other people.
He just does his own thing.
Yes, a leader surrounds himself with leaders, with wise people. Baidi tutubana abantu ababinga ubakamuhaire office ati nuwe mugezi nuwe amanyire buli kimu nuwe proposal akusagikora nuwe strategy akusagikora nuwe implementation akusagikora hata abo no bagaruire Bunyoro enyuma. Secondly, okufora mukama Saul shouldn't have been a strange thing.
Yes.
Nekiragiro kinu tikiakutuhaka inekore kintu, we can still have a way, because this constitution says any community or group of people have a right to associate
With a soul.
No, you have freedom to associate. You understand? Freedom to associate. Hati these crazy people, errant people, ababateka mu office mbatandika kumisa bintu kuli byapa mbabitunda mbakoraki. The best thing we should have done as good Banyoro is first of all to put a law in place which the constitution allows us freedom to do what? To associate.
Yeah.
No bukama white no barawa buha for the soul itu Abanyoro ntuija through consultative program process niturugayo na constitution yaitu yobukama bwa Bunyoro.
Mukuru birija kwenda nkaguze Bunyoro kit kingdom taina constitution
timanyire iwo gimanyire
no nanga nyoti
hata bwakoba Bunyoro onotagimanya because a constitution is an agreement.
Yes.
Is a contract between the people and the state or the leader, between the people and the rulers of the kingdom.
Actually, I will ask Dom Talindwa because I'm sure he's on the show now.
Even if he's listening,
yes.
Why don't we know it?
Yes.
This is what I'm coming to.
Yes.
Because once you have a constitution, you embark on civic awareness.
Yes.
Kwegesa abantu. Abwaki basemerere kugonza Bunyoro. Abokuba our aspirations and goals are in the constitution.
Yes.
Our objectives are in the constitution. 25 years. Mwana wa primary tamanyire constitution ya Bunyoro. Mwana kumara university tamanyire constitution ya Bunyoro. Oraije utako mugamba ku contributing ila Bunyoro.
No kwendo mukama we.
2. So constitution ege should define omukama oke tukusa kumuleka bagambira ali sola liki. Beita abantu abateka mu office. What does the prime minister do? Where do his powers begin and stop? You understand? What are the powers of the speaker? What are the powers of various ministers? And if they go wrong, what does our law say? No tuliba tutamtwaire mukoti bakanga hakiri tuli mukiena. Habukwa nakyo kikaba kifubiro ekitugaba Bunyoro okura we put him in a hall of infamous people, a hall of shame, ne kai yona ntukikiena ntukoraki baitu kiragiro kiroho. It is known in the constitution. But when you give people unlimited power, freedom to use power, you promote corruption.
Aroha nagambire the kingdom has the constitution.
Yeah, I should have known it. You should have known it. Everybody should have known it.
I think what will be best, we will ask
Okay.
the leader of the parliament of
Nyo- nyo-
atuwe
we-
constitution
we-
egyo omurunyoro
Nkukuyizira ati.
n'omurujungu.
As we now, if the constitution is there,
Yes.
or the charter is there, what is the role of the prime minister? What is the role of a member of Rukurato? Because we would have now moved from hand picking. Okura. We would have, if we were consulted and we want efficiency and competence, twakubere ntwekomera abakurasi.
Omukuru birija onganyire ngenda cutting short. Tugenda ha break. It is half
Banzo leke point egyo ngimale.
Gimale
Twakubaire hata abwire bono to have efficiency ntukoma bukoma abakurasi baitu hatali somebody hand picking friends, relatives and colleagues for the good of Bunyoro. Hati mu bakurasa batukomere nuho Kabumba na koma prime minister who is accountable to the people. Orukurato ndo ekomera speaker. That's what the new law would be doing if we did it in good faith and we really want progress.
Yes.
Okuhura. Yes. So that is one. Good society. Good society can only be attained through civic education. Obukama hati bwakubera mburubata kagera kuruga mu primary bana mbachantingo obukama mbazina obukama mbakoraki bwoba munyoro okoraki our traditions. Then we learn our institutions. Omwana nakuraki manyire. Then the third thing is to make our king not a beggar.
Yego.
Even if they say you should choose to become a Mnyoro, fine, okay. Then we say, if you really like Bukama and you want to benefit from it, you must buy a certificate for Bukama. Annually contribute to it.
Wow.
Hati nyowe,
Mukuziura solutions.
nyonyi na bana nkarundi bana 10, nimbanza ni sasure yange, ni sasure yo mukiara, ni sasure ya abana. Hato Mukama ajja kuba na kiasi abantu milioni emu n'emitwaro 8 ajja kuba nakyalegereza milioni 5 eziruga mu central government.
Na technician a certificate obwakuba is associated Munyoro.
Exactly.
Yes.
When aizire kusettlinga Bunyoro, aizire kukolera Bunyoro, all those we put, it is our condition. You want to work with us Bunyoro. If you come to Bunyoro and you don't have a certificate in your shop, so in Mukama, we don't buy things from your shop. Simple. We can even decampaign it. It's our tradition, it is our right.
Yes.
Okuhura.
Yes.
So, that's one way. Then, we open up projects for the kingdom. The law has not stopped the kingdom from having projects. Would be, okay, turatandikira.
Ntaka genzere ha break. Kwenda kuwa omukuru arali wenka youth akabaho youth coordinator vice chair white on. Nkwenda atuheyo what does he think we nkomu youth ayabairo youth wa coordinator aba youth bagamba ki what can the king do for us abanyoro ba youth
atika kira tuihana nka a trail yaitu because those contributions should come when we have covered the main presentation.
Come here, just one thing,
yes.
one pressing thing.
Yes, I think its engagement is to engage the youth, to bring them on discussing table, and let them have an input of the future. Let them have an input on the decisions that are being made, because they will be captured in whatever plan that is being
Fantastic.
done.
Good. Webale muno mkuru arali kandi nkaba viewers baitano nkobagamba constitution ya Bunyoro daberiyo bagiteke everywhere ha BKDA, BKKI, zimaya website zona kandi bagitwale no masomero omurunyoro no muruju.
Ora constitution yati ya Uganda egamba article 4 egamba promotion of public awareness of the constitution.
Yes.
The state shall promote public awareness of this constitution by translating it into Uganda languages and disseminating it as widely as possible. 2, providing for the teaching of the constitution in all educational institutions, armed forces and so on. So na bunyoro yakube na constitution kiragiro kye kubanza yakube kwegesa constitution egyo masomero gona mu community zona and so nubwo mulimo gwo kama wakube bukora amamalira abantu mbagonzo bukama busajja kubuzaniraho na administrative senate kumalira tuziteyireho no mukama abwokuba tuliomu hata abwire bunu bakudijoga because
ebintu bitibiri
we are dismembered.
one of our viewers agambire we really need transparency in these kingdom issues.
Yes, so the constitution is not a paper. A constitution is the spirit. Yes. If you don't plant the spirit in the people, that paper is rubbish. Okay. It's as good as being thrown in the dustbin.
Webale muno kutuhaho what your suggestions are to make Bunyoro work for us. We are now going to go for a break. We will be returning with a little bit about Bugoma, Bunyoro Rally, your interest. We will be expecting more from you. And a little bit of oil. I know oil is something too much, but people want to know about it as well. And then we will be maybe asking so many people questions this time. People are asking, so we'll have to address
it's okay.
the questions as well. Abanyoro n'abanyoro kati n'aba friends of Bunyoro, thank you for tuning in the Irakali ya Bunyoro diaspora, the voice of Bunyoro in the diaspora. We are going to go for a short break hakumuraho, then intujja kubantu garuka nekcheka kyaitu ekya kabiri. Thank you for tuning in and we see you then. Bye.
Okay, good.
Come
Hello, welcome back from hakumura kwaitu akazina ko tinyetegereza akateire kyonka ngira nako mukahulire Badman Crusher niwe yateira akazina ko nayo enzarwa ya Bunyoro. As we already told you, this show is about promoting Bunyoro. So this is one of our own singers and we thought we should play his song today. Hati before ntakagenzere her questions zaite za next after the break, I would like to take this opportunity, nyowenka host wa Voice of Bunyoro, to congratulate the Banyoro, our friends, upon the victory of having the Bunyoro Kitara history recalled in the new O-level curriculum as confirmed in the new vision dated new vision paper dated 30th of October 2020. We here at the Iraka Bunyoro diaspora, we send our sincere appreciation through the Omuhikirwa to our Omukama Rukirabasaija Dr. Solomon Gafabusa Iguru for working extremely hard last year to go to the House of Parliament in Kampala to file an official petition over the exclusion. Also, we would like to thank the retired Bishop Nathan Kiamanywa, who wrote a very beautiful article talking about the importance of the history of Bunyoro. And I think it was one of the reasons that this decision was thought about, or they had to reflect about it. To our own members of BKDA, led by the ex-chair, Ms. Hadija Kisembo, and Mr. Sam Karuhanga, for the press release that they took out, they put out, dated 27th February 2020. Again, I want to thank Mr. Karuhanga for the recorded audio played as a press release on Radio Kitara, Kings FM radio back in Bunyoro. To our own Vice Chair, Sam Kitone Arali, for the petition he launched, and to all the Banyoro and friends of Banyoro who signed and put their names out there for this cause. To all our MPs, this is Honorable, one of them was Honorable Businge, for their contribution in the Parliament. Also, we extend our appreciation to all the media houses in Bunyoro who aired the campaign each day until we were heard. Who worked for all those other names, people I have not mentioned, but you know you did so much to make sure this is history of Bunyoro is recalled in the Constitution. Thank you so much for your hard work. And we are extremely proud of you all, and thank you. We thank you all. May we continue with the spirit of Kabalega for our motherland, Bunyoro. That is from Irakali Bunyoro diaspora, sponsored by BKDA, and we would want to ask all the Banyoro and friends of Banyoro to have this new vision article printed and kept in their homes as a point of reference and a history to be shared in the next generation. Mutyo muno Abanyoro n'Abanyoro kati hati nitugenda kugarukamu ebikaguzo ha chat yaitu ningenda kusaba Omunyoro Arali asome ebikaguzo ebyo, and then Mukulu Birija nawe wenkarali can answer the questions as they feel like. Otyo muno Arali, hand over to you to tell us all our viewers who are asking questions.
Wow, thank you, our host. There is quite a number of questions here. Andrew James, Alindwa James, Godfrey. It's hard to imagine between the Minister of Bunyoro affairs and the kingdom, who represent us and where they are. That is comment. Let us educate ourselves and our children, and let us look out for less privilege. Let us invest in healthcare, agriculture, education. That is Madam Daisy Biaruhanga. Questions, Ronald Kugonza, but I wonder how can Usoga Kingdom have a TV, yet Banyoro we don't have one. Going down, for me, I'm ready to contribute on TV if they are serious. That is Ronald Kugonza. 7 is just using Banyoro, but he can't help Banyoro. That's why he keeps helping Baganda only. Those are the comments. There's quite a few comments. Joseph Adamson, our mentor, our colleague, first of all, let us understand that when Museveni reinstated the kingdom in Uganda, he did not give them power. He did not give power to the kingdom in Uganda are just tradition symbols. That is Joseph. Going down.
Look for questions.
Questions.
Pertinent questions.
Okay.
Comments, we shall come to them later.
Okay. Does it mean the kingdom will have no land? Rundi Ebiaitu, as it appears in the name of Uganda Constitution, all things have been given to the current leadership. What then happens to the future kingdom ownerships? Questions.
There's one for Daisy Biaruhanga, who says it would have been helpful to engage with the kingdom, historian, economic minister, land minister, culture minister, the prime minister. I don't know about, maybe, I don't know.
I think those.
Does it mean the kingdom, from Ali Satenya to Gonza, does it mean the kingdom will have no land, Rundi Ebiaitu, as it appears the name of Uganda Constitution, all things have been given to the current leadership? What then happens to the future kingdom ownership?
There's another question here
from. How do you
from.
expect to have at the rate at which they are selling? If one minister maybe sells 700 acres, by the time you have 10 ministers,
It's finished. Yeah, Daisy Biaruhanga here has United Kingdom. A United Kingdom got a constitution, and how long has the monarchy lived?
Yes.
How does the monarchy work with the government?
Okay.
So that's the question.
Can I
Yes,
answer
I
that
think
one?
we can crack on those few.
You see, when we are responding to things, we need to be. I think you remember very well that there was a revolution or a reformation in the 17th century, which led to the Magna Carta law. Daisy, by profession at least, I know she's a lawyer, she should know better. Much as UK has no written constitution, when we talk of a constitution being unwritten, it does not mean absence of documentation. It just means that there are no documents which are put together as one document called a constitution. Because UK operates under the common law. And the common law, which also has several statutory documents and laws which govern UK. And they have a long-standing traditions which are understood by the leadership and various institutions. But again, there's only one sovereign who sits at the top and is officially recognized as the head of what?
State.
Of the state of UK. And all laws are her laws. And every property is hers, or for the institution which it holds in trust. But our circumstances, and UK is a constitutional monarchy, much as it doesn't have a written constitution, but there are several laws, statutes under the common law, which govern the king.
Yes.
And they are known by every citizen.
Yeah.
That's why even they teach the British laws. Before you become a British citizen, you have to study what?
Life test in the UK.
Yes. Those are the things I'm saying, which are missing. Their constitution is very clear, much as it is not one single document.
Yes.
So to say unwritten constitution has never meant that absence of written what? Document. What it means is there's no single book like
Document,
this, which
yes.
is called a constitution. So UK has a lot of laws that govern it. Then Uganda's case is a unique case.
Just to supplement that before you go to Uganda, the Speaker of Orukurato, Rwabunyoro, Mr. Owekitinisa Mutalindwa Isaac Kalemba, answered and said that the United Kingdom doesn't have a constitution just exactly how you mentioned it, but it has no written constitution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's no written constitution does not mean absence of laws that govern the
Yes.
country.
Yes.
It has several documents. When we are discussing constitutionalism, when we talk of unwritten constitution, it does not mean absence of written documents that govern. But here we are talking of absence of. That's why I said we have a charter, which we follow in Bunyoro, at least. No. So then Uganda's case is also unique. We have a written constitution, which effectively makes our monarchs constitutional what? Monarchs. But now, the circumstance, this is a generic document, like a mother law. But our circumstances differ. Bagandas have different traditions and institutions. Banyoros have different traditions. So we have to have an enabling law derived from this mother what? Mother law. So our circumstances cannot be compared to what? To UK. Because the nature under which our institutions are operating are completely different from the UK situation. I hope I've responded to that.
Yes, just to say a little bit, sorry guys, I forgot, someone has said, Maureen Kunihira says, not forgetting Dr. Asimwe Florence Akiki, she also worked tirelessly hard on the issue of restoration of Bunyoro history. Yes, Maureen, thank you so much for reminding us about Dr. Asimwe, and we really appreciate, and for every single person who worked tirelessly hard, we are really grateful and thank you for your effort. As Amoti Daisy said, everyone worked so hard, and we needed to appreciate people who we know ourselves here, especially the BKDA people, we know that had that in their head and they made sure they worked so hard. But yeah.
What I want to comment on that issue is one, every Munyoro worked.
Yes.
Because those leaders are there
To work.
by Banyoro's mandate. So every Munyoro did what?
Work. That's why I said
so
every
we
Munyoro.
appreciate.
Yes.
But this issue of always just getting excitements without interrogating
Yes.
issues are the ones which cause us problems.
True.
Kukwata ebintu makusu, you get excited and lose reason.
Yes.
How? You should be interrogating a question of how can the oldest kingdom, which gave birth to Toro Kingdom, which gave birth to Buganda Kingdom, to Busoga Kingdom, which has a strong relationship with the North, be forgotten? Is it by accident or by coincidence?
Exactly.
Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Those are the things we should be questioning.
And that's why I liked the bishop, the retired bishop.
Yes.
He came out and wrote a very clear
Yeah, exactly.
article.
Yes.
And stated his reasons. And all of them, I think everyone said, look, this is something.
Any blind person.
Yes.
You even don't need, that's why I said, do you need to be reminded that you're a Munyoro?
No.
So that you say you may choose to be a Munyoro or
Or
not.
you're not.
The other first clause of Article 246. So, do you need really to remind any Ugandan or any educationist that Bunyoro
Is
is a
important.
kingdom which existed that deserves to be
Put in the history. No.
an empire which went as far as Kenya, which went as far
Exactly.
as Zaire, which
Exactly.
went as far as Sudan, which went as far as there must be something fishy, and that's what we should prepare for to avoid it happening again.
And the people of Bunyoro should come out and do something. As kubazaga
And that's why I'm saying we have to be aware, we have to be courageous, we have to be proactive
Active.
to prepare in advance for eventualities. Hatali haba gitugarulire webali. Who should return to us
Yes.
what we are?
Yes.
Eh? Are you
Okay.
seeing that? Those
Yeah,
are the
true.
things we are not interrogating. Secondly, do you think it is by accident that Bunyoro, of all regions in Uganda, lacks a university, a public university?
Viewers, some of the viewers here are talking about the university is needed. Many people will
No,
keep talking
no,
about
no,
it.
needed. It is our right. If
Yes.
every region has, are you saying that? That's why I told you are poor because somebody is rich.
Yes.
Since exploration of oil and gas started in Bunyoro, how much money has the government got to construct public facilities? How sure are you that University of Lira, University of Arua, University of Mbale, University of Soroti, and so on, have not been all constructed out of the pre-oil tax money which has come from Bunyoro? And Bunyoro is the last. Are you seeing that?
so-
even the city was a Kaija bandwagon at the last moment.
Yes.
Are you seeing that? Why should the mother, the real pillar of Uganda, because if you want to know nationhood of Uganda, you begin with Bunyoro. Why should it always be the last? We should blame ourselves because we have not made ourselves visible.
True.
Eh?
True.
Would you say that our priorities are placed wrong? The government can only do what its priorities are, like building an airstrip, an airport, because they want that the logistics. Whereas to us, the Bunyoro, we have our own priorities. We need to have them in order. Before you go on that, there is a question here from Kenneth Nkumiro. He says the solution is serious civic empowerment in the region. Bunyoro is a sleeping giant being feasted on by our own.
Exactly.
Seriously, reflection is necessary. This program is one of those civic education sessions that should be that should go on more regularly. Thank you, SBK, and thank you, Voice of Bunyoro on TGM.
Okay, you're welcome. So that's what I'm saying. Ati Butrafuoka, I said, what are the values Bunyoros need? Proactivity, courage, aspirations. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Aspiration, developing competencies, and ati abasomera abanyoro kamba banze mbagambi muruge mu WhatsApp groups.
True.
Ayeterere nduru tayeterere nduru ayebutikire.
Ainakugayo.
Become public intellectuals, not intellectuals in the theaters, in lecture rooms in universities. Stop becoming lecturers in classrooms in secondary schools. A true intellectual is a public intellectual. You mobilize people to liberate them. Hateke nikyo kikuita abanyo. Abantu bona basomere banyoro nti bakubaza munkukutu WhatsApp group ha Facebook toli muragoze na abaza hali bantu bali ordinary bakusobora kumurora. Very few banyoros can have the courage to come and articulate issues.
Actually, to add on to what you're saying, there is one viewer here who has said, or listener who has said, why is it that most Banyoro men and women do not want to work hard on the affairs, I think he meant affairs, of Bunyoro, and is it as it was before?
Because
They
have instilled in us, they have corrupted our minds with the survival for the fittest, individualism, kiange, possessiveness, wakwa public office, onyukule kiawe so that your family is okay. Today you are LOC5 chairman. By the time you leave, you want your son to be the LOC chairman. If you are the mayor of the city, by the time you leave, you want to prepare the way for your son, not other people.
Okay.
Like that. And everything must be yours. And omutima ogo bugutatuge butukugaiga itwe na banyoro. Tukaba amani itwe na banyoro. That's better than one individual being okay. You understand?
Okay, yes, thank you very much, Mr. Berija garukamwe kaguze ebye abantu bamu batugambire. Hati issue yo otugambire ge how we can make the kingdom.
Yeah, I was left with one point.
Yeah, you go ahead and then you tell us. You have already commented about the curriculum. That was another question.
Yes.
But please tell us.
I said Bunyoro should become an entrepreneurial Bunyoro.
Yes.
Entrepreneur in 3 ways. One, obukama bwina kutwekulembera mu kumobilizing abantu to teach the values of Bunyoro.
Yes.
To teach the spirit, community spirit. A sense of belonging to the community, a sense of owning the community, a sense of owning the institution of the kingdom.
Yes.
That spirit is not there. We are so selfish. Bulomu alhabwe. MP bukiroki mumukomere na abulirayo. Nko kuoteke ekijere mu kihuru nikibulirayo nikigenda. No yongere ekindi nikibulirayo nikigenda. That's how we have become.
Yes.
Buli muntu akwekolere ebye. Nobody is working up on building Bunyoro. So civic community, beginning right from the grassroots. Ekyo kintu na constitution teka kihaka nago obukama. But 25 years down the road, na abana mu masomero basako batamanyire kuzina ikizina kihanga kya Bunyoro. Basako batakimanyire. So
tumanyire kya Buganda. Baito katera ge kya Bunyoro rora. Owotere kya Buganda abantu bona ni bazina.
We are even ashamed of
baito owotere kya Bunyoro notaka tumanyireho kine kibanza. What is the so?
Okay, katugende mai.
So we need to make sure that all Banyoro learn that song, Ekizina Kiehanga.
Not only that, values of being a Bunyoro, culture, to cultivate in the people the Bunyoro mindset, the community mindset. Because you are only a Bunyoro first before you become a Uganda. Because Uganda is a multinational state. Multinational state because there are many nations that were brought together to form Uganda. And Bulomu akusika na agarura hasaidie before you put in the pool.
Yes.
Okay, so then the second thing is business entrepreneurship. How do we use the cultural institution to strategically be productive? Tukaruga mukulegereza.
Aroha no gambire gembu tusoroze sente zo mukamo yaseka yagamba ha the accountability has been a challenge.
So that's why I began with the constitution.
Yes.
You know what a constitution does. Once you make a constitution, then you have enabling law, finance, land, what buli department nebane no muntu umutiremu kanda kusasurwa ajja kuba n'obujunanizibwa. Okay, it is. That's why I began with the law. The law to close most of those loopholes, at least reduce them. You can never reduce corruption to zero, but at least reduce it to a minimal level by the law. Yes. Then, after civic education, bantu begere constitution, begere values of Bunyoro, begere aspirations of Bunyoro, then we should make Bunyoro a productive Bunyoro.
True.
And the kingdom should take the lead role to show people abukwa if the kingdom is not producing nayo neregereza hatera gambe to muntu wabulikiro to be productive.
True.
The kingdom should be having enterprises like a Bunyoro radio to promote civic awareness as it generates income.
One of our viewers was suggesting that
Bunyoro TV
in the diaspora,
as it promotes civic awareness, it is generating what? Income. We should be now having Bunyoro publication. By the way, I told you we have to start a publishing corporation. We should be having ebita byonna bikusomwa mu Bunyoro ebyo aba intellectuals hati bakubasoroize aba bakutukira amagezi nibahandikire ebitabu byorujungu bya primary byaki 1 million people abana bagenda mu masomero nk'emitwaro 20 plus those neighboring districts. If they buy such resources, that's revenue to the kingdom. The law has not stopped us from doing that.
Yeah, sorry, our special guest. I'll jump in there. In terms of entrepreneurship, civic education, and then partnership, and then by association of the kingdom or the institution, the cultural leaders, the cultural leadership that is there. When you look and see that, is that environment in place? Because if someone wants to do a business and wants to promote a region or the kingdom, there must be that environment, that relationship between the subjects and the leadership.
That's
in
why
place.
you say I was moving systematically. Were you
Yes.
following me? The law,
Yes.
civic education.
Yes.
Civic education is to bridge the relationship.
Yes. So going on to that, it goes again with leadership. I'll give an example. Is that what I've observed in the media and a few other things. For instance, people were standing for leadership positions, from president to LC. They all go and they get, by association, they go to the kingdom, to the Baganda kingdom, to seek support and help in different ways, whether it's finance, whether they are doing businesses. It is all by association. That helps individuals to have that environment,
Yes.
to grow the kingdom and the community.
Sense of belonging.
So is it there? Because I don't see it in Bunyoro.
And that's
Is it
why I
there?
said, you see now, I'm giving solutions systematically. I said the law, enabling law, which makes us feel, which compels us to work as the people. Those who don't want, we leave them, because the supreme law is saying otabam. Hati naitu tukozesa kia atarumu tarumu.
Talimu.
Yeah, atarumu tarumu. So if we can get half the population which subscribe to the kingdom, and we are all contributing towards it, and we are the beneficiaries towards the institution, you get me? Eventually all other people will fall in. Habukubatu mkama bwakuba na commandinga 1 million people. Iwo izire kwepara panja MP tokaikirizaga to associate with the kingdom.
Yes.
Akadumira amahaka gamba hatogo takabaga muntu white.
Actually,
Just politely.
Actually,
Or araba.
that was my last question. You guys went ahead of me. I was going to ask, we have seen some time back some political leaders in Buganda, MPs of Buganda, going to the Kabaka. Is it something our leaders should do, like MPs, presidential candidate, Ngugo Twina presidential candidate Omunyoro, should, in our region, should people go to the Kabaka, Mukama Waitu kumusaba anti Mukama nkwenda?
Why not?
Because that will bring
Why not?
unity.
Iwe karo. Muhara wawe nagenda kutungo msaija. Ataizire kukugambira wewe kandozere omunywani. Is it good?
No.
Surprise.
Or kangenda kubunga.
Surprise.
Is it good?
No.
So that's what traditionally it should be. The leader should give you goodwill.
Yes.
Akurage kurungi. Agambe wewe on nsiimire, support him.
Yes.
You see that? The Gandas are cultivating it. That's why you find some people don't like comparing. But mundu atenda comparing ogwabo mugwabo. They have a radio, they have a university, Mutesa University, they have colleges, they have TV, they have control on their land. They issue certificates, much as it is being ravaged here and it is being scavenged. At least they have some semblance of control.
Ukabalega TV.
No,
Buganda.
I'm talking of Buganda. They have a television, they have a radio.
It's comparing.
Yeah,
It's comparing.
they have-
Omuntu atenda comparing abamugwago.
Yeah, Bamugwago. So much as they say that some of those things are owned by other people, but whatever, you can always have a corporate strategy where you share with other people. If you don't have enough funds, I say, Ivan, the kingdom has the goodwill. It can promote you. Since the kingdom has a name, use our name, put in capital. So you give us 10% of the revenue you get. Has the kingdom lost anything? Nothing.
And some of our viewers here have been suggesting a radio ya Bunyoro.
Yes, no,
Bunyoro,
it's
a
not
radio-
all about radio.
No,
it
no,
should
no,
even
I'm
be
saying- I'm
schools
saying,
for Bunyoro.
Yeah, they're saying radio for Bunyoro, TVs,
Yes.
university. People here write every single time. We need a university, we need TV, we need a radio, we need a press, our own newspapers. Ebyo byonna abantu
The
bakubirenda
kingdom should even be having what we call growth pole institutions. Nka Bunyoro Kingdom academies.
Yes.
Nibaba na academy eri model. Academy ekwegesa intellectual things, academic things, with farms, industrial parks around it,
Right,
and
Omunyoro
so on.
Birija.
Hata abana nibakura bali enterprising.
Omunyoro birija.
Yes.
Ebyo byonna tubibalize.
Yes.
Kingdom nko bwogambirege it is us.
Yes.
Tujja kubaza hanu Kingdom.
No.
Bazoleke Bunyoro birija. Tujja kubaza hanu n'abanyoro baanike engalo hanu nko bagamba. Tukole tube ne TV, tube na university baitu inywa abanyoro naiwe nga Mr. Birija kike kyogenda kutandika kutuyamba
Ati bunkwegesa tinyambi.
Oh yeah,
No, let me ask you a question.
oh yeah.
Do I just fly here out
No.
of vacuum?
No, you don't.
If I have a car, am I not spending fuel?
You have.
If I've used the train, am I not spending money?
Or
Is that not a contribution?
Yes, I tell
How
you.
many programs have I sponsored to educate? Is knowledge free?
No, it's not. Attention,
Is consultancy free? No, you are right. You are right.
So what do we as the Banyoro people have got to do?
Well, now you
to
see,
put these
I've
things
already
in
given
action?
you answers. I've
Yes.
already told you we must constitute ourselves into a legal entity which can control the errant behavior we have.
Yes.
Okuhura solution zange. We must constitute ourselves. Constitution means to organize ourselves. Who is a Bunyoro? What belongs to Bunyoro? How do we run Bunyoro? How do we promote Bunyoro? That's what a constitution means. Okay? Second, because tufokere bagwagwa, our mindset is wrong. Second should be civic education. We must see our kingdom having civic education. And to promote those programs, we should have intellectuals and educated people in leadership instead of having elite abakwegondeza. That's the third solution. Fourth solution is business enterprise, projects which feed into the kingdom. We should finance the kingdom. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
The next program, by association, all districts. Corruption means breaking.
Yes.
When Bunyoro was first of all an entity, then you come, you start dismembering it, breaking. Kikube, notekao Kikube district, notekao Bulisa district, notekao Kiliandongo district, notekao mbaranika kwechwachwa na kwerora bali bantu bakwaukana. Kubatera nzambaba bazibu. So we need to educate these district leaderships by Jeham. But toza magezi go poolinga capital, sente, zokora projects which are Banyoro, which promotes the association and linkages and cooperation between these districts. Tusobole nokuyamba obukama bwaitu buleke kulega. So that our district councils should integrate the kingdom into its programs. Because we should be having that discretion.
Nikiomba ini nkagulize kaguze ekyo.
Yes.
Abantu hano bakuandika, we need to distance ourselves from talking, from the walk, the talk. They want action.
Yes, adding on what...
Is this not an action?
Yes, adding on what Mr. Birija was trying to say while he was mentioning that he has come here, he has invested. I think that is a bit of a reality check to each
Yes.
individual Munyoro
Exactly.
to
Yes.
see what do you do on a daily basis.
That's why I want Mr. Birija to tell people, for him, Mr. Birija, you've done your action. What are others doing?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
One, our leaders who are taking charge of the kingdom should be civil people. But civil. I'm not saying they are not civil, but if for 25 years we have done nothing to see that Bunyoro is changing, then there must be something wrong.
Yes.
They must check themselves.
True.
So
And
it
if
is-
they are not capable, they should
Step
abdicate.
aside.
Balekere office band. Kan yagamba nebintu bya handpickinga friends and relatives should stop. We should include interest people in the kingdom by allowing them now elect, because it is a modern king. They should elect councillors. Bakuras, so that from there the king can get a competent what leader who has been sent to him by the people.
Yes.
Yes.
So I agree with Mr. Bidija, all your strategic plan, and I want to say that you have done quite a lot to educate.
No, I'm not. I've not done a lot.
No, you have done.
I'm just showing.
Us here on the Voice of Bunyoro, we have
Yes.
appreciated what you have done.
Yes.
And many people have appreciated you because you've come out and educated them. Hati, because we are running out of time, there is an issue here people are addressing mainly about Bugoma, right? And I just want to ask you people here in the studio tonight, because someone here has said, Mr. Bidi, someone was talking, what has the kingdom done about Bugoma,
Look here.
Bugoma issue?
The only thing they know about Bugoma, because it has been blown out. But Bunyoro has lost so many things. So many square miles of land, so many ranches, so many what. It's just because by some accident they happen to know about Bugoma. Me, that's why I'm even not focusing much on Bugoma, because what we have lost is the bigger thing. You understand? Except that people don't know. If they were made aware, then that's when they would know. If they were responsible enough, because nabo batalinda muntu kubakolera, batalinda muntu kubaseruliza. Nabo baserule. They should learn to be interrogative, learn to be inquisitive.
Yes.
Batugarulire history ya Bunyoro ekawe bulire nka. No semererwa. That's irresponsibility. Why was it not there? Ask, not erratic voices. Ask, why should all regions have universities and we don't have? Why do you wait for somebody to talk for you when you are also Munyoro?
I think like the culture and the expectation is being put into the leaders, or in this sense, the kingdom. So whenever you mention a kingdom, no, don't talk about it. But yes, I can talk about it because I'm a Munyoro by default. I'm a Munyoro.
Yes.
I can't help it.
Yes.
But when it comes to implementation of things, we say, okay, the university, the Christian university, or the Kabaka something university is connected to the kingdom. So then you say, okay, me, an individual, can I start a university? But you say, okay, why don't I work with the kingdom?
Yes.
But then you can't really work with the kingdom because you expect that there is that expectation that we, the subject, we expect the kingdom or the leadership to take the lead.
Look here, even under new constitution, we are no longer subjects, we are citizens. Secondly, what you are forgetting, Sam, governments the world over work under pressure. There is no government that does not work under pressure. You even see it here in UK. It's an advanced country with a modern
But people are always
culture.
demonstrating.
They are always demonstrating.
Demonstrating.
Right.
Governments are only alive
when people
as long as people are also alive.
alive or
Yes,
awake.
this young man,
Are you seeing
Rashford,
that? So you are
about the food.
Yes.
The children's meal.
Yes.
So now, are you saying that the Banyoro, we are lacking that spirit
that's.
of standing up for things that happen within our region?
I'm not saying. I've already said it.
Okay.
I've already said it before. I said Banyoro are not entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship means ability to grab. Entrepreneurship means you are aware, you are creative. You don't wait for things to be done for you. We are the ones breeding corruption. Because I told you corruption means absolute power with freedom to use it minus accountability.
Yeah.
It's we who are supposed to hold the central government accountable,
Accountable.
to hold the Bukama accountable. We have decided to sleep.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that?
Yes. Yeah. So now, people are talking about Bugoma. We don't need sugar. Bugoma. But Bugoma has got so many components. We've got wild animals. We've got they use it as their home. There's so many what's on the screen. There's so many other vegetation under there, and people are demonstrating. But what effect has it got?
Look here, Sam. In our culture, Kinyoro culture, we believe in an ecosystem whereby we know that man does not survive alone without his what? Environment. That's why we believe in protecting the ecosystem. You know why I'm not even interested in talking about Bugoma issue? There are more calamitous things that have happened to people. Before you even talk about Bugoma, the trees, how many Banyoros have been displaced like dogs and kicked? Is the forest more important than Banyoros who are tossed in Kiriandongo, who are tossed in Kiangwali, who are tossed where, and their lands have been grabbed and nothing has been done? Is the forest more important than the people in Ulisa who are drowning with water and nobody is responding? Are you seeing that?
Yes.
So you see, there's somebody who says Banyoros fear what they don't know. Are you seeing that? They celebrate what they don't understand.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah. So with this conversation here at Voice of Bunyoro,
yes,
and as the show Voice of Bunyoro,
yes,
we are looking at to voice and to initiate whatever is there that we can begin the conversation. So if there is the Bulisa issue, if there is the land grabbing or displacement, if there is the forest being destroyed, so how can we change the Banyoro to say, look here, whenever there is something, not
I've
only the
already
forest.
given you the solution. I've already told you civic awareness. I don't know whether you're
To
getting
bring
me.
you back from the
Look here, ultimately, any program, any activity which is done in Bunyoro, the end process should be the well-being of the people. You understand? The end process should not be material gains. The end process should be the people. What I said, gross national happiness. Whatever is taking place in Bunyoro, what is the degree of happiness of the people? Because we work for the welfare of the people. You get me? So if people are suffering without being attended to, if Bugoma forest is being taken and it is going to have environmental negative impact on the people, those are the questions we should be asking. If the kingdom is there and is being used as a shock absorber to exploit us, yes, tukikaliza bukama waitu buratukolera ntamanya bakubukozesa nkoruseke.
Yes.
Batukoleire mihanda ntamanya emihanda ruseke baruteire mukinaga kya Bunyoro kusikamu amajuru.
So why are we turning a blind eye on it? What are we
Because
doing?
we are ignorant. Ignorance is a very big disease. You understand? Ignorance makes you even to celebrate your own exploiter. You get me? Listen to the messages being said by even J.K. Kabuleta himself. Though I would have wished him to be settled now in Bunyoro, first campaigning to establish his base in Bunyoro. He first highlights the problems of Bunyoro. Because New Foundation Yaitu, we are the ones to propel him upwards. Okay, so what we want is people to be able to articulate their own issues, and that requires awareness.
Yeah, just to top up on or to add on what you're saying, I know there are so many issues about, and I'm not going to start the oil issue because it's going to take another
That
hour.
one will be another day.
So just again, Omutalindo Orukurato Okwi Aziza Kalembe, he is very active on this program on this chat,
which is very good. I'm very happy.
Yeah, he says, I also request TGM Radio or the Voice of Bunyoro always to play the BKK anthem in full.
Yes,
all
sir.
the 3 stanzas rather than the lyrics.
I think
Let
so.
the audience know the words of the anthem. That is the civic you are talking about.
But first of all, I like Mutalindwa because he really comes up and he really participates in civic education.
Yes.
I'm proud of him as an individual. But I, having been a leader in Bunyoro, I know how hard it is to do something alone.
Yes.
People will leave you to dry in the what? In the sunshine alone. Bizi bindu bitabuka nibairuka nibesereka nibakoleka wenka. Kyonga kuchumitirizo muro baza no avanza.
Yeah.
No, there are no liberators in this world. The people liberate themselves.
Yes. A voice of Bunyoro will be as in the position of executive producer. We will be ending our first season this month of November. We will be finishing it, and we will be looking for strategic partners to be able to do the things that are being suggested on the chat and a few other things. I think with our next season, when we are coming, we will be very strong, and we will be having a structure that is targeted and focused on certain aspects which our viewers have been enlightening in all the shows that have been coming. So whatever comments you put there, we are not ignoring them. They will come to pass.
Yes. So with that good comment or input from Arali, we are going to be leaving the air soon because it's 1:30. That is 2 hours now. We've been on the chat today. Thank God we have been able to be given some money. I don't know from where, to add on and pay for the extra 1 hour. As all our viewers and listeners know, we only have free 1 hour, an hour free on TGM radio, but today we are lucky to have 2 hours because someone sponsored. I don't know who sponsored, but we will have to pay TGM for that extra 1 hour. So we have a few minutes. I think the engineer will allow us just to conclude, to do our conclusion remarks. And on that note, I want to ask Mr. Birija for your concluding remarks. And I want to thank you so much for having accepted to come. This was a hot debate. And I know people have written so many things in the chat. When you go back and read, you may be offended, but I know you're a leader. You will not. But thank you so much for sparing your time. This is your action. Abantu abagamba mutuleke mukulamentinga tuleke kubaza bubaza, for you have acted. Nyowe nka host wa Voice of Bunyoro na nyonja agamba nkozeremu na chair vice chair White na waja agamba na wakozereko na BKDA that sponsors this show. Now they have done their bit. So other Banyoros na abandi tukwenda mtandike kola your beat. Titukwenda kulamentinga. No one is lamenting. We are just saying. And this is why the Voice of Bunyoro was created, to give people a platform to come and say whatever they want to say. And right at the end, God created the world with just words. Ruhanga yagambaga, let there be. Tingamba tuliba Ruhanga, but as long as God created this world in his image, he used words. So
and
it is
said,
what?
Go and cultivate. Cultivate
Yes.
means to create.
So it is through words that we will be able to do something. So nkwenda okole closing remarks. Obaka tuanze na Arali, then omukulu Birija aja concluding, and then we go off air.
Yes, all the Banyoros, they need to get their pockets ready with our next season. Money makes money. Everything that is being done, it requires money. So get ready with your pockets and your paychecks. We need to take Bunyoro to the next level and make Bunyoro great again.
Thank you so much, Omukulu Arali, chairperson, vice chairperson. I'm sorry. Avola Linda, Otambihirirwa chairperson wa BKDA. Tukusima nkubo inoloho ha programu na ex-chair Y2 na some committee members, Judith Amoti Bigirwa, thank you so much for the support. Alisa Atenyi, who is advisory board, Mr. Karuhanga, Mr. Deizebia Ruhanga, all the people in BKDA who make BKDA a strong charity are on this chart. Mwebale muno kutuyamba kandi nokutusupportinga kandi nokutuguidinga ga bintu birabaga bisobere mwijani mutugamba byo bisobere. Hata Munyoro Atenyi Birija concluding remarks.
Ya Karo Atenyi webali muno compostinga. Munyoro engineer Ivan. Y2 vice chairman Y2 na executive ya Kitara yona nkwenda kuba BKDA yona nkwenda kubasima abo kumpereza akaire kanu kusobora kubaliza Abanyoro akasumi kanu kamazire nimbaliza nimpingise ebitekerezo n'abanyoro.
Yego.
Abawuliza baitu inywena ntandika na Mutalindwa aikairwa program nkwenda kusiima mno habwa contribution yona yokozere n'ebitekerezo byohaire. Abandi bona hamno Mutalindwa na arumu na inywena obutubantu baza hano nkokumbagambye giti kimanyisa nti tumanyire.
Yego.
We are just inciting, provoking. Kuba kutekereza kandi tubaza nti tunobera omuntu rundi kugaya muntu. We are critiquing, tukulenga kuseruliza ebizibu byaitu, tingambire ebizibu byanyu ngambire byaitu nanyo wendu tindi perfect nanyo tinkakozere kikumara. So ebyo gambire rundi muntu akujumire rundi akungaine bibyona tibiru munsa. So all kikuru kitukwenda is to develop.
Yes.
Ni malira ni ngamba Bunyoro tugirole obukama bakabutugarura. Yes, it's the glass half full, not half empty. Bakutandika no gamba kubaza wikibiki nuba barora glass being half empty instead of seeing what half full. Tuongeireho tuta. Can we come out with an enabling law? Our own constitution? Can we come out with a clear strategic plan for civic education, for making our kingdom productive so that our people can prosper? We educate our people. Can we come out with developing people's competencies naito tube competitive? Bunyoro tulekege kusaba tusabege naito tuina kitukozere. Obuturagenderaho, nothing is impossible. We can change Bunyoro in a very, very short time. Nyowe naiwe tingambire nyonyenka kandi tingambire yuwenka.
Yego.
Iwe nyowe itwe itwena.
Yego.
Nimbasima muno kumpuliza mwebali muno halo olulimi ruhabire muranganyira.
Yego.
But that's what happens when you are debating. Thank you.
Nibyebyo, those are closing remarks from Omukulu Birija, special guest White Otubaire nawe kandi no Arali vice chair wa Bunyoro Development Association nawe abagambire we are about to come to the end of the first season of the Voice of Bunyoro in the diaspora, and he has told you what is expected in the next season. So please Bunyoro, let's work together and make our Bunyoro great again, as we all keep saying on Facebook, on radio, in platforms, everywhere where Bunyoro is. Let's make Bunyoro great again. And we are all fighting for that. And we are so sorry if we have upset some people, but we will all do our best to make our nation Bunyoro Mutalindwa katugamba. We are not a tribe. We are a nation.
Of course.
Na habwekyo, we want to fight and make our nation again. I am a proud Bunyoro, and that's why I put my face out here to host this Voice of Bunyoro. Na habwekyo nitugenda kuruga ha air nimbasima muno inywena abaizire kutuninga in. Please tune in next time the same time 6:30 next Sunday. We will be back with another topic, and we want to thank everyone, and we want to thank Bunyoro Development Association. We want to thank our engineer Amoti webale muno kutugumikiriza, and we will be back next Sunday and have a great week ahead of you. Mukama alinde. Bye.
Thank you.
Little Ivan tulibasini babunyoro bunyoro kitara tukugonzanye naite itwabana beyanga abakutame kitinisa lero turako
bunyoro kaniwe mutima gwa Uganda tumugonza muno bunyoro ebirungi byona bisangibwa bunyoro tumugonza muno bunyoro kaniwe mutima gwa Uganda tumugonza muno bunyoro ebirungi byona bisangibwa bunyoro.
Praise to music.
Mundeke mbaze ala mafuta abakwere bunyoro tunda nkaotike chonte si bunyoro yaitu epokere all city buli muntu wena akujayana nelisi
kabantamanyire bunyoro naitwe tulimanyibwa kuruka kabalega yafiire bunyoro mazima kotwayibwa baitu ati oil city efokere oil city buli muntu wena agonza puloti mu oil city
ekore lakini